गुड इवनिंग फ्रेंड्स, स्टडी विद द पाला इंजीनियरिंग एंड जनरल जियोलॉजी परवीन सिंह बुक। तो हम पहले वैली पढ़ रहे थे, वैली की डेफिनेशन और इरोजनल वैली हो गया। अब डेवलपमेंट ऑफ अ रिवर वैली, हाउ डेवलप रिवर वैली। अ रिवर वैली इज द रिजल्ट ऑफ डाउन कटिंग्स एंड बैंक बैंक यानी कि नीचे को जो कटिंग होती है वो बैंक इरोजन, यानी बैंक मतलब नदी के किनारे by the rivers. So since most of the river erosions process are so concentrated along the bottom of a river's channels, especially in the mountainous regions, the resulting river valley has a typical V-shaped cross section. The slopes on the river's valley are the result of a number of denudation process and operating concurrently, such as undercuttings of the valleys walls by the river, followed by the cavings in of materials from these walls, weatherings of the exposed walls by physical and chemical processes, followed by slippage of a weatherings product into rivers below under the actions of gravity and rain wash. The process is called mass wasting. Erosion of the valleys walls by wind, water and ice accompanied by active transport of the waste materials by the rivers. The two set of process and responsible for the development of valley profiles are there in season. First or down cuttings along the base of the channels by the river itself. Denudations. D. Or modification of valleys wall by undercuttings, weathering and erosion. The nature of valley profiles at any section in the course of a river depends on the ratio. First and I/D means in season and denudations operating in that section. Three broader cases may be considered. First, saw-cut valley. These arise when in season base cuttings is the major process and denudation is either absent or negligible. A very narrow, almost vertical walled valley is produced. This type of valley is sometimes referred as a saw cut valley or simply a slot or gas. Exceptionally deep saw cut valleys with slightly open up top indicating some denudations are especially referred as George, and so these are quite a common and impressive feature of the major Himalayan river in their mountainous track, especially in the inner and the middle Himalayas. Gorge are produced mostly in resistance rocks, that is rock which are not easily denuded at the walls. Canyons are those types of gorge where the strata involved in down cuttings is essentially horizontal or nearly so, and the Grand Canyon of Colorado is a well-known example. It is more than 1,600 meter deep, of which the strata in the upper 1,300 meter is made up of horizontal layer of sedimentary formation V-shaped mature valley. In the formation of these valleys, the incision and denudations are approximately equal. In such a case, the valley profiles assume a typical V-shaped, is the case with most of the mature river valley. These may be said to have established a broad equilibrium between the down cutting and slopes denudation and their load carrying capacity. The valley may or may not be symmetrical in their transverse profiles depending upon the type of rocks on the slopes. Mature river valley diagrams and the flat flowed valley. Flat flowed valleys when the in season and so becomes negligible and denudations of a slope is the major process. The result is a flat flowed valley. It is the common profile of valleys in the lower reach of a rivers where it has already lost a lot of gradient. In such a case, most of the energy of the river is used up to transport the load supplied to it from the slope by the denudational process. In fact, in extremis case, the river may not have even that much energy, so that an appreciable amount of the load may be deposited along the floors, which may be gradually build up and more or less merge with the flattened bank. That is the end of a valley. Development of a glacial valley. Most glacial valleys are originally the streams of valley that have been modified appreciably by glaciers. A valley glacier is a massive body of solid ice with a characteristic downgrade movement. Downgrade नीचे को movement हो रहा है during its down valley journey. इसलिए डाउन वैली जर्नी कह दिया. Its tendency is to even up the entire floor area by a combined cutting and sweeping actions at the same time. So the glaciers pluck and erode the protruding obstructions from the valleys, the walls, rendering them straight so that they offer minimum resistance to its movement. This result in a flat floored and vertical walled depressions for the glacier. It is a typical U-shaped valleys covered out by the glacier. In old glacier valleys, the walls of the U might have regressed because of their exposures to other subaerial section. The glacial valleys are often better termed as a glacial trough because of their bowl shaped outline. So the a characteristic feature of many high glacial valley in the Alpine and the Himalayan glacier is the development of a hanging valley in them. A hanging valley is merely a tributary valley meeting a glacial valley much above its floor level, so that when viewed from the main valley it seems perched high up on the wall of the main valley. So the hanging valley develop due to a tributary glaciers of a smaller volumes and hence having a lesser rate of down cutting. With the passage of time, the main valleys floor get dependent having leaving the tributary glacier higher up. Where the glaciers have receded, the floor of the main valleys may be exposed as a flat land stream. Once with all short of a glacial debris, the hanging valleys channel then becomes the ideal location for magnificent waterfalls. Such waterfalls abound in the inner Himalaya. Thank you.